Hey, what's going on? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Unscripted. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers of today and yesteryear, and tonight is no different, ladies and gentlemen. You want to talk about a straight shooter. You want to talk about a professional wrestler extraordinaire. You want to talk about someone who jumps around, and I'm not talking about the group. I'm talking about the wrestler. The Haas of pain, ladies and gentlemen. You better jump around and get pumped for Charlie Haas. How are you tonight, my man?
Thanks for the intro, man. Thank you, Dr. Chris. I appreciate that, man.
It's great to have you on tonight, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Just got back. We started the amateur wrestling season off, so practice right now. So we're getting our feet back underneath us, starting to get them in condition. We're vying for our 13th straight title this year.
Nice.
And our second youth program straight title. Yeah, and we won our the first women's state title too last year, so we'll shoot for our second. So we got a really good. We got a great program. It's a top 10 program in the country, and that's great being in Texas. So.
Yeah. Congratulations, man. Congratulations on that. Yeah. Speaking of Texas, man, you're a really big part of a promotion called SWE.
Yes, sir.
And not only are you a big part, you're actually the champion there. There's actually a really big promotion going on in the southern territory areas, and not only are you the promotion's world champion, but you're also the trios champion, right?
That's right. Yeah, we brought back the 6-man world tag team titles. They haven't had that since the world class days in Texas, So we brought that back, and my faction, or our faction, called Privilege, is who consists of Rodney Mack, who's one of the baddest men around. Street Bonafide, he's been in the octagon, street fighter. He's married to Jazz. If anyone, he's a legit. I mean, he's a legit street fighter. Max Castellanos, he is a 27-year-old up and coming Hispanic man. Just when I first saw my eyes on him, I knew right away he had it, and that's who I wanted to put in my group. He's been fighting him and Moonshine Mantel, who's another great competitor who I don't know why has been picked up yet. Has been him and him, they've been battling back and forth. So they've had some great matches. And then we just added our 4th member, Jacob Fatu. So we when I came in SWE, and I said, hey, I was retired, and I came out to just visit and just to promote independent wrestling, which I thought it was. I brought my kids because they never really saw me wrestle in WWE. And then they were like, man, this is great. And I was taken back. It was really good. And then they asked me to come out of retirement. I'm like, man, let me try this thing at first. So I was at another promotion wrestling under a mask, and I just wanted to see if I wasn't anything good. I just go away and they wouldn't know. So and it actually I felt good. My psychology was there, my timing was there. I guess a lot of it had to do because I was coaching amateur wrestling and I was wrestling live with the high school kids or the college kids coming in. So, man, I was just, it clicked. And I said, I'll come in on one condition. I have to be me. I go, I'm not going to be a character. I can't be someone like, here's a script. You have to say this. Just tell me where we're going. I'll tell you what I want and let's just do it. And it worked out, man. So far, they've given me the platform to be me. And we've got some great talent on the roster and everyone's working together. It's just showcasing really well.
Yeah, I saw some SWE videos probably a couple of weeks ago, and man, you were healing it up, man. You were doing a really good job.
Man, I am. I tell people I'm not a role model. Just learn from my mistakes and don't do them. So, but I'm a heel, and that's what I'm good at. We were when my brother and I were tagging, we were always heels. And then after he passed away, I had like a babyface stint as singles down at OVW. I got to thank Jim Cornette for that. Really, put time in with me. And then, Team Angle was supposed to be Russ and myself, and then Shelton and Curtin. And unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. So Shelton and I, who thank God, I think as a guardian angel that Russ sent to me, that we just clicked. He's my brother, and we're best friends. He's like godfather of my daughter, and just worked out, man. And we're still tight. But yeah, man, we were a great heel faction, and man, I've done the babyface thing, and I'd rather be the heel. I'd rather, people hate me, and it's great. I love it, and I love the booze. I love whenever I get people throwing food at me or popcorn or jumping the rail or punching me, then I know I'm doing my job.
Yeah, that's a heel, man, and I appreciate you for keeping the true heel alive. I'm a old school wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan for 35 years. I love just what brought us to the dance. The bad guys and the good guys. That's what brought us to the dance, So yeah.
We don't I don't sign autographs. I don't take pictures. One thing I can't stand is if you're a heel, don't babyface for money.
Absolutely.
And I've actually, because I do that, I have more people sending stuff into the SW office for me, to paying me more than what I would charge if I was a baby. It's funny how you hold off and people tell you, they say, hey, they're like, well, we want to try Haas' signature. I'm like, well, he's not doing it. Please, we'll give him $35. No, 40. It's just I just don't do it. Back in the day, the heels got 20% of what the baby faces made when they were married together. And that's how the merch was done. The baby face sold merch, but they gave 20% to the heels that were having the program with.
Yeah, I love it. Ready to get into these questions?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Start off with Guillermo. He's asking, how did the Impressionist gimmick was born, and what was your favorite parody? By the way, you won a slammer for being the Glamour Haas.
I'll never live that down. But you know what, man, it was something that I was able to pay my respects. They gave me the character, and I'm like, let's run with it. I think they were trying to get me out of there anyways, and they just want to see if I'd have a bad attitude. And I embraced it, and I studied and studied. I got the costumes I had to put together, did everything I could to not disrespect them and to do the best I could. The walk, the everything. My favorite was JBL.
Mine too.
My son, Chuck, the little one, my 9-year-old. He's like, I'm Charles Haas Layfield.
Yep.
My dog's rich. I'm rich. I'm a Texas blowhard. And it's amazing, man. It really is. Yeah. I always tell JBL, I'm like, man, I go, you would have been like Boss Hog, and I would have been like, Dewey Hog. His nephew. So
yeah, you was cops. you were cosplay before cosplay was cool, man. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I was. I think that was my favorite one too. You did. I think Charlie Haas Hogan was pretty funny too.
That was good too, man. Charlie Haaston,
Yeah, Charlie Haaston was really good too. You came out there, that was hilarious too.
Yeah, they were good, man. There was a Bret the Hitman Hart one.
I remember that one too. Yep. Yeah. Let's start off. Let's go with Rory. He's asking, greetings from Puerto Rico. What was the greatest advice Curtin Shelton ever gave you, and what are your thoughts on the Steiner brothers?
Let's see. The greatest advice was, I think, Shelton and I were right with that class with, Batista and Cena and Orton and Conway and Densmore. I mean, it was a great class, man, right there. Man, I transferred in right when they were going up, and I went right up after them. But we were all like, I was in HWA and they were in OVW. But I think the biggest advice was, came from, Arn Anderson, Jerry Briscoe, which, Kurt and Shelton would always reiterate, was that, hey, listen to the crowd. Mm-hmm. Listen to the crowd and do not, don't go out and memorize every move. Don't worry about the moves. Worry about the work in between the moves. Mm-hmm. And that's how you'll get over. It just, it took me a while to figure that out. But that's what I'm doing now. And it is so much fun. I mean, people are like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm like, just listen to me and I'll take care of it, Mm-hmm. And that's why, that's how you connect with the fans. And that's how you connect with them. That's how you're told at WWE, don't look into the camera. You know who looks in the camera? Cena, Orton, Taker, all them. Cena, Orton's like, Charlie, if you look in the camera, you get over. Don't listen to him. That's why when his interview is good, so he walks real slow, looks at the camera. The slower you go, then the more they got to talk about you, the more you get over.
Yeah, I like it. Ablash is asking, how was working with Brock Lesnar back during the Ruthless Aggression era? Any memories?
Yeah, man, he's a great guy. I remember one time we rode together just listening to country music. He's a country boy. I'm a country boy. And we both like cold beer. It's he and country music. He wants to be the best. He works out hard, very hard. He's an acquired taste. Like I think he's very standoffish, and he only really associate if he likes you, if he knows you're a genuine person. I think we got along so well because of our backgrounds. Mm-hmm. Amateur wrestling, out through college. I think that had a lot to do with it, So
yeah, agreed. Steven's asking, any wrestlers you like to watch in AEW?
You know what I like? I'm going to answer this for everyone. I think, let's go back. Steiner brothers, man, I didn't answer that part. I love the Steiner brothers. I love Rick and Scott. They were my idols growing up. They are all Americans from Michigan, and I got a chance to. We never wrestled them. We were the last time WrestleMania was in Dallas. They had the world's greatest tag team sitting right next to the Steiner brothers, signing autographs. Man, I finally got the chance to meet Rick, and class act. His son's was a Division II national champ. Mm-hmm. And they were great. Great. Scott, I've worked one time in a tag match. Nothing but great, man. He's a nice guy. I appreciate them, giving me advice and helping us out. And so the wrestlers at AEW.
Right, real quick before we get to that, the Steiner brothers is actually my second all-time favorite tag team.
Yeah, I agree. I think when I look up there and I think of my favorite tag teams, of course, is my mentor, the one that trained Shelton and I, is Arn and Tully, my favorite tag team.
Oh, nice.
And then the Steiner brothers, Midnight Express, Jim Cornette, Rock and Roll Express. Then you got, you want to go old school, like Hector and Chavo Guerrero, Senior, the Freebirds, the Von Erichs, and I'm talking about. You're looking at it was great, Fantastics. And then Steve Curtin and Stan Lane before Stan Lane jumped to the Midnight Express. If you want to be a really good wrestler, you got to know the history. You got to know the band first.
Let's keep going back. Crippler Ray Stevens. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Shelton and I stole we saw it on YouTube, and Pat Patterson. Pat Patterson's on the outside, and he's trying to, the babyface is up on top of the hill on Ray Stevens. He goes to shoot. He reverses. He pulls the ref. Stevens does, and man, Patterson stands on the second rope and pulls the third rope, and the babyface, instead of hitting the ropes, he falls right out on the floor. And is brilliant, man. I mean, the best tag team I've ever. I mean, and that's the thing is, like, you just wish you had more tape of that, but they were the best. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And what I want to know is how they did that flying knee off the top rope. I mean, I asked Pat before he ever passed away, I go, how did you guys do that knee? Because that was it was a flying knee drop across the throat, blood everywhere, stretch him out, the guy going in the next territory. He goes, I don't know, we just did it. They weren't wearing knee pads, anything.
I remember that. Wrestlers AEW.
Man, I think right now is the best time to be in wrestling. And I think it's I'll tell you, it's not. I'm watching AEW, WWE. It's with this whole internet TV, and you go to Pluto, you go to Right Now TV. I mean, there's like MLW, there's PC Ultra, there's Impact, there's AAA, there's Ring of Honor. Everyone has got reality of wrestling. Booker T's, man, unbelievable, man. But the production looks good. It's credible, great talent. I mean, this is a place for everybody to showcase their talent. They can make a living doing this. If everyone works together, they can go back and forth, which some of the companies are doing. And then you can, it's not like the AT&T. There's not a monopoly anymore. Vince doesn't have it. People are going elsewhere. And I mean, it's great. It's the best time. So I love watching all of it. I love watching all of it. AEW, man, I love seeing it. Eddie Kingston. I am so happy.
Oh, yeah.
And because I've known him for a long time. We back when I was in Jersey All Pro running with CZW, we crossed paths. But good for him, man. Good for him. And finally got something that broke for him. And makes me happy. I'm really happy. All the guys that never had a chance now have a chance. You know what? They're getting pushed, and I'm glad Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan. I'm glad that they are allowing to let these guys get a chance, man, because they're damn good. They needed it. They should be.
Yeah, Eddie Kingston, man. I'm a big supporter of Eddie Kingston. Yeah. Just a nice guy. He's been on my show a couple times. I'll never forget my previous show, my weekly show I've been doing for 9 years. I had a wrestler every week, similar to what I do with this show here. And one of the wrestlers, he promised that he was going to be on the show, and then he kind of ghosted me. And I was just like, "Oh, come on, man, we got to be professional." And I was just scrummaging through my phone, called Eddie. It was 11:01. My show started at 11. It was 11:01. I called Eddie Kingston. I was like, "Man, can I get a favor? Can you hop on the show real quick? For a Q&A?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man, I got you." And just like that, man. I mean, he was just open. Just like that, I was like, man, you forever get my support for pulling through for me like that, man. So yeah,
he's so underrated, man. And I'm glad, good for him. I'm just happy for him, man. Yeah. I wish I look back. I wish like Amazing Red would be back on there, or the SATs, or Danny Moff, or the Hit Squad back there. I mean, wish they had a chance. I really do.
Agreed. Let's see here. Let's start with. There's a lot of good questions here. Okay, Ricky's asking, whose idea was for you to do the impersonations?
Johnny Aces. Johnny,
okay.
Yeah, Johnny Laurinaitis. So it was a character he always thought of. He wanted to do it in WCW, and he's like, they're not doing anything with you. You don't want to be on chopping block. So, man, you gave me an extra 12-week run or whatever. I want to slam me.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there an end game to it, or was it just kind of like
they just kind of ended it, I think out of all the characters I hated doing was the one on Jim Ross. I mean, was the one that signed me, and I hated doing it. They wanted me to make fun of him, look really fat. We're both Oklahoma boys, and I hated doing it, man. I really did. I don't know. It's I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason behind. I just don't know about. But
he was still with the company at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah. He he was with the company, but he wasn't on TV at the time.
Yeah, he wasn't like a full-time on-screen
so
role
it was
anymore.
no, I think a lot probably had Kevin Dunn. Always butted heads when I probably wanted to try to poke at him. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. So,
unfortunately.
So I apologize, Jim. I never got the chance to tell you that.
Yeah. What do you think of Edge returning and winning the Royal Rumble?
I think that, Edge and I are friends. We're good friends. And I didn't know he was coming back because of his neck. I thought it was like 3 levels. You couldn't do it. I broke my neck. Drew McIntyre broke my neck. And it's on YouTube when it was supposed to be me and Ron Killings. And they brought him out instead. And he gave me it was an interview, and he cut me off, and he hit me that no-handed DDT where he had my hands behind my back. Never let go. Fucking heard it crack. And so, I didn't even know Edge came back and I just started coming back with SWE. And when I saw it, I was like, man, it just gave me more incentive to keep working hard. So I'm happy. Him and Beth Phoenix, really good people. When I was with Ring of Honor, they live up in Asheville, or they had a house up there. They let me come up there and visit. So, dude, I'm so happy for him, man. And you know what? WWE needs it. They need it so good. And I'm happy for Christian, too. So good for him.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Christian is I agree. Let's not undersell Christian either, man. He came back, and now he's Impact World Champion.
Yeah. What a hell of a match, him and what's his name?
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Kenny Omega. Yeah.
And he's got a main event spot at the biggest pay-per-view in AEW. So it's a big deal. So David's asking, is there any chance you'll rejoin up Shelton in WWE?
Well, let's say the way they're cutting people, there might be a chance Shelton may be joining me in SWE. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I really hope that doesn't help the show.
Yeah, me either.
They're paying what he needs. He's finally getting paid, and he deserves it. Now, do I agree with them breaking up the Hurt Business? No, that was the stupidest thing they could have done. That's the problem, is that when you got something good going, they decide to end it. That's except for New Day, which they've kept, which is great.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, man. I mean, that faction kept them going during the COVID.
Oh yeah.
So that's the way you treat them. I mean, and then the way you dude, Shelton's. I love Bobby, great guy, Division II wrestler, not a Division I wrestler. Mm-hmm. Couldn't be my boy Cunningham, and I know because I'm from the same era. Shelton is a better wrestler. Shelton, if it was real, Shelton would be killing Bobby. Mm-hmm. Okay, Shelton trained Brock in college. Mm-hmm. Shelton's, so the way they had Shelton just get destroyed with Cedric in the handicap match, come on, it was bullshit, total bullshit, man. So
that happens a lot. Yeah. Yep. Let's go with how's it working with Kurt, and do you talk to Shelton? Are you a big fan of Brit Baker?
I talked to Kurt the other day. He called me, and he talked to my son and his really good friend Ollie before they went to Las Vegas for the Supreme Nationals, and they actually both won it. So they both won it, and they are so in the national. And then Kurt called him back and said, "Hey, congratulations!" So do talk to Kurt, and dude, I shall talk to Shelton all the time. Whenever I went down to Booker T's about 3 weeks ago, stayed with Shelton. I'm going to be working. We working some things down there, so I'll be visiting Shelton more. But Shelton and I talk at least twice a week.
Nice. Brit Baker, what do you think? What do you think of Brit Baker?
I'm sorry. Let's see. Man, Brit Baker. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but I'm not familiar with them.
She's the woman's
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar, so I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not familiar. So
Pittsburgh women's champion in AEW. So
in AEW, okay.
Yeah, she's dating Adam Cole. So
okay. Well, let's see. Adam Cole, I'm very familiar with. Mm-hmm. Worked with him in Ring of Honor. And Cole and O'Reilly had a really good tag team. So and I worked them. Mm-hmm. I am, I'm really, and then I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm not familiar with her. But I think I got to pay more attention to the AEW Women's Championship. I know what's going on with WWE. I've been really interested in what's going on with our girls. We got, Miranda Gordy, Evilise, is our
yeah.
And, we had
Evilise was in AEW at a point.
Yeah, she's our champion. And Miranda Gordy, I mean, you guys, she's Terry Gordy's daughter, and she's awesome, man. She's really good. She's explosive, and she'll fight and wrestle like her dad. So,
I was a big fan of Bam Bam back in the day. Free.
Were you a fan of the Bam Bams when him and Dr. Death were tagging over?
Miracle Violence connection, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I love it.
American Bash NWA tournament finals, man. They won. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So,
absolutely.
And that's something. Some great tag teams over in Japan that people never really heard, like LaFon.
Oh yeah, Furnace and LaFon. Yeah,
great tag teams.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Speaking of Brit Baker, I mean, Adam Cole's rumored a free agent now. What do you think about Cole, man? You think he should stay with WWE or go to AEW?
You know what? I think he should go wherever he's going to be happy. Wherever they're going to let him be him, and wherever they're going to, if Vince likes you and you're on, I mean, it's great. But I mean, look how quick they can turn on you. Look at Enzo. I mean, look at Cass. I mean, it's just, and I'm not saying that I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying, I mean, I've been there. You're on top, and the man, one person, you got Michael Hayes on. We gotta get it. We don't like him. I mean, it's like it spreads. I think AEW be the best for him. You got people like Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Tully Blanchard, everyone back there, the agents. And the reason why I say that is because I work with Kevin Sullivan. He's our booker at SWE, and they're from that same era, same generation. And he goes up to you, he's like, "What do you guys want to do? What do you mean? Like, whatever angles you want, you tell me, and let's go from there." And that's how it used to be. They don't have a creative team writing or a Hollywood writer or like, "Hey, I need you to say it like this or do it like this." Right. That's not me. You don't know what makes me. You don't know what took me to get here, what I had to endure. What I've felt. What I Kevin Sullivan gets it, and you got to remember he's like the last link to Eddie Graham. He was one of the best bookers ever. So he's letting me learn how to book, and he's teaching me how to book. So that's something for the future. But if I was Adam Cole, then AEW or come to SWE and have Kevin.
Yeah, give him a pitch, man.
Have Kevin Sullivan work with you, and I tell you what, you will see. You will be amazed of how. I mean, people just don't understand how much knowledge this man has, and the way he explains things to you, and he never turns you down. He's like, "Okay, but let's twist it this way," and you're like, "Yeah." I mean, it's it's unbelievable, man. It really is, and people don't know this. And Kevin Nash has even said this, but Kevin Nash, not Kevin Nash, Kevin Sullivan. He was the creator of NWO. He's the one that put them together. He didn't come up with the name, but he put the group together and told them how to do it. So, and that's coming from Kevin Nash, man.
Very interesting.
Pretty long too, and so they'll tell you that he was the creator of it.
Nice. All right, a couple more questions. Let's see. Lots of love here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. There are a lot of people giving me some love, man. That feels great. Thank y'all. Let's see. Joseph saying, "I love seeing you on SWE." Charlie, quick question: what wrestler made you get into wrestling?
Man, when I was a kid, I turned on. So going back when we only had 4 channels. Okay, this is before cable. So I turned on. My dad was stationed at the White House. He was in the Secret Service at the time, and we were stationed at the White House. So we're living in Virginia. And I turned on UHF, it's Channel 12, it's noon, WWF's on. And I see Jimmy Superfly Snuka getting beat up by Ray Crippler Stevens, Lou Albano, and then they pile drove him twice on the cement, blood everywhere, and he's doing the electric shock shaking. And I was hooked. That was it. Nice. And that was it, man. And that was it. Watching Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson win the titles from the Wild Samoan, unbelievable, man. I mean, it's just so Then I got so I watched WWF, and then all of a sudden cable came out, and here's Georgia Championship Wrestling, Gordon Soley. Here's World Class, And then my dad, we got transferred to Oklahoma. That's when I started amateur wrestling. I only went out for wrestling because they said wrestling. I'm thinking pro wrestling. Go in there, where's the ring? So, no, this is mats, So I got in the amateur wrestling, And but man, it was a good time to be a kid then because you had the different territories. I grew up in Oklahoma where I was able to see world-class championship wrestling at midnight. I had WWF at noon. At 11 o'clock before noon, it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. And then you had Mid-South Wrestling. Then you had 605 805 WTBS, Gordon Soley.
Yeah.
Different territories, man.
Absolutely. Good stuff, man. Let's see here. People talking about you getting buff again, man. Let's before we close up, man, let people know about your training regimen so it can inspire others.
Yeah, man. I just so I'm coaching amateur wrestling. I have a youth program and I work with the high school team, Allen, Texas, which by the way, 2013 it graduated both Kyler Murray and Bo Nichols, which when they graduated college, they won the Danny Hodge Trophy and the Heisman Trophy the same year, and they're both graduates of Allen, Texas. But that's a little knowledge there for you. But anyways, so I was always in the room wrestling. And, when you amateur wrestle, you're so beat up and it's so tough that you really don't have time to lift weights. And that's what I was, and I wasn't doing that. So what I've been doing is now I'm back to lifting weights. One of my really good friends, Jeff Pulliam, he's another assistant coach. During the COVID, we built our own gym in his garage. We had a guy weld a rack for us. So I've been lifting there every day with him. So, I'm just lifting weights like it was when I was back with on TV. So that's what I'm doing. So
awesome. Congratulations, man. Congratulations on this resurgence of Charlie Haas, man. I'm sure it feels good.
Hey, look out for the Haas brothers, man. My sons, they're about 9 years away, but you're going to see them. They got their own the TV wrestling. It's called CTE Wrestling. It's on YouTube. You'll love it.
Okay, nice. Before we go, man, let us know one more time about SWE and where we can find it.
SWE, man, you can find it on we're on all the social media platforms, YouTube TV, the CW Network, and it's one of the hottest promotions. Kevin Sullivan's the booker. If you want to come here, reach out to us, reach out to me through social media. We are looking for talent. What we're trying to do is we're in your face wrestlers. We're calling in the ring, man. We're trying to make it, we want people to believe, and we interact. So it's something different. And it's a surge. It's a great time to be a wrestler all over the place. And we have an open door policy. Any champion wants to come in, anybody from any other federation or any promotion, please, man, come in. We want the talent and we want to showcase everyone, man. I think we could make this work like the old territories did.
Yeah. What's your socials, your IG and your Twitter?
Okay. I'm on Twitter. It's at Charlie Haas. And Instagram, it's SW Champ Charlie Haas, Facebook Charlie Haas, and LinkedIn Charlie Haas. So
fantastic.
Yeah,
Charlie, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Chris, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for being such a great fan, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.